Hi guys, I'm re-uploading this video because Clarontex, despite the fact that he's been born and raised in the United States of America, doesn't know what fair use is. In fact, I've had to go through a copyright school because of the false copyright strike that he sent against me, and I didn't even have to watch the video to know that I don't need permission from him to upload a video critiquing him. That's what fair use is. That's the whole premise of the First Amendment, the right to free speech. And believe it or not, I still have the right to free speech. We have that in Latvia, in Europe, so there's no excuse for him absolutely violating the content copyright strike system like this. He will see repercussions for this. For now, enjoy the video. Hey everybody, it's your boy User1. And you know what? I don't agree with the administration team sometimes. Now don't get me wrong, I like that county roleplay. I do. There's some genuine nostalgia I feel whenever I play it. It reminds me of these very small communities, very small roleplay communities that were based and died quickly in MTA. That's what it reminds me of, you know? Everybody knows each other and they communicate out of character. It's such a friendly atmosphere. So when somebody, you know, when somebody comes around to disrupt that atmosphere, people obviously feel upset. And that's understandable. Red County Roleplay always had pretty strict regulations in terms of out-of-character insults. Sometimes even a little too strict, I would say, but hey, you know, it's your server, your rules, fair enough. Here's what I don't agree with then. This guy, Mr. Controversial, I met him on the live stream. I made the live stream, right, to check out what's good with RCRP while I was away. You know, I've been banned, I got an appeal done, and I came back and I'm like, hey, by the way, I was banned for making the server look back pretty much. Keep that in mind for what's coming up, okay? Because I made the server look bad by uploading a video which basically says, hey guys, this is a DM server. I admit, you know, that was the vibe that I was giving off. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to give up that vibe. But, you know, I always tried for action and that was my mistake. I did it. I admit my mistakes. I am a human being, I can make mistakes. But, you know, when the owner of the server is making videos like these... Tell everybody, who is Tommy B?
He's the owner of RCRP.
Exactly. He is the owner of RCRP. So go to his channel, see what kind of videos he has.
Do you want me to pick... Like,
yeah, pick a video, we'll watch it together.
Okay, I'll pick, let's go for I have to wipe my ass. Let's go for Massacre.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, they made it against the rules to drive by with a motorcycle after this. Yeah, and he's using that. So, this is posted by the owner of RCRP.
Yikes.
And he has multiple videos of similar stuff. When he just kills everybody, and then you blame me for the DM influx? I don't know, man. It doesn't really weigh up to me. Pretty much, you know, if I make the server look like a DM server, I get banned. When at the same time, the owner of the server uploads these videos. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
But you see, the thing is, he's the owner, so he's always going to get away with it.
No, I'm not talking about getting away with it. I'm talking about how do you feel about that?
It's awful, yes, don't get me wrong.
Why is it awful? Tell me, why is it awful?
Because, well, it's just not fair on other players. He has this immunity, and we don't. We have nothing here.
Rules are vague. Rules don't specify exactly when you can kill somebody. So admins abuse that pretty much to ban anyone who they don't like. Again, I don't hate RCRP. I just dislike some of the decisions that the administrators have made. I don't agree with some of those decisions. So again, back to Mr. Controversial. What did he do? Okay, he's a troll. Okay?
Yeah, I've been a troll in the past. Don't worry about it.
He is a troll, but he has genuine passion. Okay? He has genuine passion, not only for character development, but he also has genuine passion for politics.
That character, I would say, is like very, very big on politics. I mean very big. As Dallas, I've always wanted to try and run. You know, in the elections, and one of them were picked. I don't know what
I'm
it's
not
called.
sure.
Wait,
You tried to run for an election? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that on my character because as I said, I'm really interested.
Okay. He was frustrated and he just couldn't contain himself. He had a small temper. And we know how County Roleplay treats people with small tempers. They get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? He got in trouble over trouble over trouble. And I know a lot of people who get into trouble. You know? As long as they're willing to learn, as long as they're willing to work on their mistakes, I say, hell, you should. You definitely should. I'd like to believe that I've always wanted to encourage people to do things the legitimate way, because in SAMP there's always the way you can ban evade, as Clontex has shown us when he has given up. The ban evading is the I've given up method. The I can no longer play legitimately. Okay, I'd rather just do this pretty pathetic thing where I spend money on a VPN, write an application every time I get banned, avoid the people that I've talked to before. I can't play with the same faction. I have to change documents. I don't have to do all that just to play on the server. That's what that says. That's what the ban evading does. When you ban evade, you get into the cycle. Ban evading is a pretty serious offense, and it's treated as a serious offense on most servers. Some people will get you banned for like a year or so if you ban evade. So Clontex, it's probably not coming back to play legitimately on LSRP anymore. So I guess I won the war that Clontex put against me. Good job there. Hi guys, so in this part of the video I would have a little skit, mocking and critiquing Clontex for basically calling a war against me and all of that. But he posted a copyright strike against me, and for that reason I have to remove it for now. I will be re-uploading this video after the copyright strike gets removed, because I know that I am within my fair use, and I will be making a video about this situation. Sorry for the inconvenience. SAMP servers have this disadvantage that everybody can essentially ban evade on any SAMP server. It's pretty easy. So you want to prevent that by being reasonable. And when you're not reasonable, when you're doing shit like this, when you're punishing people for making appeals, for apologizing, then you're gonna get ban evaders. Back on topic. Mr. Controversial. He's a good guy. Yeah, he has a small temper, but in general, he's the guy that I needed for the faction that I wanted to create. So I knew he got some out of character trouble, but I was like, you know what? We all deal with bullshit, okay? We all deal with bullshit, and I want to give this guy a chance. So he told me that he was form banned at the time. He told me he was form banned, and so I went and sent a message to an administrator whose name I'm not going to reveal because I'm that considerate. I don't want to encourage witch hunting or anything. I sent him a message asking, essentially, what can we do? How, is it possible for him to appeal this? And he simply said, you'll have to post it for him. First of all, that's a little weird, okay? That's a weird system, where you have to post an appeal for somebody else. But you know what? RCRP does a lot of weird things. Like, for example, when you report an administrator, the report is public, anybody can comment on it, and the person that you reported is the one talking to you. That doesn't make any sense. Of course they're not gonna see their fault. I'm reporting them. Like, okay, doesn't matter. That's not the focus of this video. So I've sent the format to Mr. Controversial, which wasn't easy because you see, they don't really post the format. They have this kind of a forms section, so you have to click post ban appeal and it gives you a form, which is really weird. Anyway, so what I did is I went to another person's ban appeal, I just copied it and I removed all the fields, and I sent that to Mr. Controversial. He filled it out, and I filled in the form for him, and I sent it with a note saying that this is Mr. Controversial. While I was dealing with that, Mr. Controversial got himself into a little more trouble. He refused to roleplay during a situation, and he got temporarily banned. Now, Red Counter Roleplay does these temporary bans sometimes. And, you know, it's a pretty shitty thing to do. I don't advocate anybody refuses to roleplay. I can kind of see where he's coming from, because sometimes an admin punishment is less than an in-character punishment, which is weird in itself, but at the same time, you should never take things out of character. But, you know, as I said, Mr. Controversial has a bit of a temper. I don't have an excuse for that. He apologized for it, and I'm not gonna say that he's a perfect individual. No, no. What bothers me is how the administrator, what bothers me is how What bothers me is how the administration handled the appeal. Because I've never seen such dreadful and, you know, unprofessional way to handle a ban appeal. Like the way he put it, is your faction on underground rollerplay not striving now? I mean, they are banning you for...
He is mocking me, though. That is exactly what he's doing. He is mocking me.
They are banning you for trolling and harassing people, right? As I believe, you've trolled and harassed people, and now they are trolling and harassing you. So that's kind of a, you know, kind of being a hypocrite there. Now, I'll admit, I don't know the full backstory. But in my opinion, if somebody makes an appeal apologizing, they should not get a harsher sentence. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Somebody is apologizing to you. He's making a legitimate appeal. I would have understood if they ignored it. If they told him, you know what, fuck off, you're not getting an appeal. But to make his punishment harsher because he apologized, that doesn't make any sense. I've never seen that happen before. Even on shitty Garry's Mod servers, even on the Russian community, the Russian fucking community. If Russian community is doing something better than a roleplay server, you know you fucked up. Jesus Christ, I don't even know where to begin. Okay, so I have a hypothesis why they increased it to a permanent ban. I think so. From the comments that the administrator made, I can decipher that he got temporarily banned instead of a permanent ban because the initial administrator who temporarily banned him did not have the authority to permanently ban him. There's still a problem with that though. You see, because it's quite clear if he didn't post that ban appeal, then he wouldn't be permanently banned. He would still have that temporary ban. So, effectively, you know, by bringing attention on himself, by posting the ban appeal and apologizing, he got punished. So effectively it's the same thing. You're essentially punishing somebody for making an appeal. Now how am I supposed to stand up and say, you know what, you should not ban evade? Right? Because I'm against ban evading. I say you should not ban evade. If a server banned you, you should leave it alone. You should respect the community's ability to restrict you from playing it. If you use illicit means to get in the community, that's just not nice. That's just bad practice. But how am I supposed to stand up and say that when you're not giving them the means, you're not providing them the opportunity to apologize? I don't know the full history between the administrators and Mr. Controversial. Okay, from what it sounds, it's pretty silly, and I've looked at his record the admin posted. Which, you know, again, it's weird that they had to involve me in it because he couldn't post it. I had to post it for him because he was banned from the forums. Still, I just feel like it reminds me of if you're a long-time subscriber, you probably remember a hashtag I started back in the day. 45 days for what? Okay, so in LSRP, there is a rule now that says, in order to rob a business, you need administrative permission. In order to rob an active business, in order to discharge a firearm inside of an active business, you need permission from an administrator. Now, I disagree with that rule, but, you know, it's their server, it's their rules. In fact, I might be the reason why that rule exists, funnily enough. I didn't intend it to be that way, but, you know, things happen. So what happened was, Back in the day, I used to do a lot of action, like I mentioned. That's where my channel was going at its most. I used to rob banks, I used to run whores, I used to sell drugs, I used to do all that crazy shit. Nowadays, you know, I had to mellow it out a little bit, because servers don't like being put in the spotlight like that. That includes LSRP. They didn't like the exposure as you know, action-packed roleplay stuff. They wanted me to be a more serious tone. That's fair enough. I can see that. But what I don't see is when you ban me when I don't fucking break a rule. So they accuse me of deathmatching, which I didn't do. Everybody knows I didn't deathmatch. Even my haters knew I didn't deathmatch. But I see a trend that admins just use that deathmatching as an excuse to ban people for really when they don't have any grounds to ban them. And then they make up a reason, you know. Oh, you know what? You know that thing you did 5 months ago? Yeah, that's why I'm banning you now. That's essentially what happened. No, that's, you can read the ban, you can read the appeal. It's all there. That's literally what they said. Pretty much, you know, if you make the server look bad, they can ban you. Here's the thing, right? It's a private server. Obviously, they can ban you for anything. I didn't agree with it back then. I don't agree with it now, but that's the truth. After I got banned, they instated the rule, which I broke before that rule was in place. Keep that in mind, because Red County Roleplay did the exact same thing. Back then, I made a video saying, oh, you know what, I'm never playing on LSRP again. I'm never playing there again, because that's some bullshit. But then, you know what? I couldn't keep up with my promise. I had to stop playing LSRP again. But you know what? I don't regret that, because Red County Roleplay pulled the exact same shit. Okay, they pulled the exact same shit, and it frustrates me to no end because it's so hypocritical. So, especially from them, when their owner's posting videos like this one.
Like, he's edited these videos. He has put effort into these videos. And I'm not saying I haven't made my own, like, compilations of my achievements, but when I get punished for them and the administrator doesn't, it just feels not fair. Whenever I get an AK, a goddamn aperture agent just shows up out of nowhere and, you know, without any operation whatsoever.
Oh yeah, that sucks. I hate it whenever you lose guns in the game, especially when you work really hard for them.
Yeah, the admins don't have to worry about that. They can just spawn one.
And they turn around and say, oh, you're the one. You're the one bringing all the DMers. You're the one promoting violence. Oh, yay. You're the one that suggested people should die. No. No. You can't say that when your owner is posting this. That you can't say that. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Jesus Christ, people. Anyway, I disagree with the administrator. I disagree with the administrations all the time. But they run the server. So, you know, I recognize that. I made a video saying, hey, you know what? I did make the server look, I recognize that. I did make the server look bad. And I held off on saying anything bad about the administration. And I'm still holding off. Because I don't want doors to close in my face. I don't like when you know, your reputation causes you to lose, you know, opportunities. Which is true. Your reputation affects what you can do. It affects what doors are open to you. It affects everything that you are capable of. So for that reason, I can't fully start insulting administration. Which is, you know, it's a bad practice anyway. They're all human beings. We all make mistakes. Back on topic. They made a rule, a new rule, okay? Which they banned me for. Okay, well, they didn't even make a rule. They made a thread. They made a thread complaining about the robberies and how people, they don't like that people roleplay opportunity crimes, okay? Opportunity crimes are where a person sees an opportunity to commit a crime and they commit it. They don't plan it, okay? They go out with a general idea to find somebody weak and alone and rob them. They don't like that for some reason. I don't know why, because that happens in real life. It happens. Yeah, it absolutely happens. But they don't like the idea. And I did it because a lot of people do it to me, so I'm like, hey, you know what? I think rules should apply to everybody, but, you know, clearly that's not the case. Anyway. Okay. Anyway. Okay, I'm not saying I was an angel. That Harry Potter thing, that was pretty fucking stupid. Killing somebody in the middle of Main Street in front of the DMV doesn't make any fucking sense, especially for Michelle Jefferson. I know what, I resent that thing. And I've done a lot of things I regret, fucking flushing a sniper rifle down the toilet. Well, I appreciate, and you know what? I appreciate my viewers. I appreciate you guys for calling me out on it. Because, you know, it helps. It helps for me to recognize my faults, you know, where I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect, okay? You know, it helps me realize, you know, it's not okay. So anyway, that's what it reminded me of, that situation with Mr. Controversial. What happened was Mr. Controversial basically submitted an appeal and apologized. And he got a harsher sentence because of that. Not only that, but he got marked inside his own application.
He's just apologizing.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make the temporary
Don't do
ban.
that. Don't do that.
Permanent.
Don't. What the fuck? I was just apologizing. If you didn't come here, and if you didn't make this appeal, you would have never done this. You would have never done this. Don't even lie to me.
That doesn't make any sense to me. He got marked directly inside of his own application. Inside of the ban appeal, the administrators marked him. If you, okay, so I'm going to assume they didn't want to permanently ban him for making an appeal, because that would just be ridiculous. I'm going to assume that the reason they didn't permanently ban him from the beginning is because the banning admin didn't have the authority to. However, why didn't the banning admin who temporarily banned him didn't reach out to the admin with the authority to do so in order to permanently ban him? Why did it have to happen after he submitted an appeal? Quite clearly, if he didn't submit that appeal, if he didn't apologize, if he wasn't nice and honest with you, he wouldn't get permanently banned. And I don't agree with that. I just don't agree that you should permanently ban somebody after they apologize like that. If you permanently ban him from the beginning, that's fine. That's all fair and good. Fair play. He has a good, long admin record. I wouldn't have a single trouble with that. But because you did it after he appealed, after he apologized, I just can't stand up and say, hey guys, you should stop ban-evading. You should be honest with the administration, because they will always be fair if you are honest. No, it's not true. Because clearly, you're an example of a, you know, unprofessionalism. You mocked him during his appeal. You increased his sentence because he appealed, essentially. You wouldn't have done it otherwise, it's quite clear. So, yeah, I just disagree with that. I just want to say it right now. I disagree with that decision. Do whatever you want with that information. And, you know, I'm going to take a break from my county roleplay for now. Because it just feels like that connection that I've started feeling with the administration, it's all gone right now. I don't feel it anymore. Because administration seems to be pulling the same bullshit that I've seen years ago. Okay? So I'm going to take a break, reconsider my life. Yeah, I'll go to a gym. I'll go to a gym, you know? You know, get my life together. Maybe I'll quit Sam. See you guys. Stay awesome. Hey guys, season 1. I just want to say a couple of things. I disagree with the premise of banning somebody for making an appeal. Now, hear me out. I absolutely realized that you were probably intending to ban him, you know, the moment he made that last violation, the moment that he told me about it, he disconnected while he was being chased by cops, and that's pretty petty. But still, he got a temporary ban, and you were probably intending to ban him permanently, but just didn't have the authority to do so. Now, hear me out. I get it. I absolutely get it. But why didn't you, if it was so necessary to ban him permanently, why didn't you, I don't know, actually contact the admin with the authority to ban him permanently? But instead what you ended up doing is you practically punished him for making an appeal. That's what happened. The problem isn't that, you know, you ban somebody who was breaking the rules. I mean, he was breaking the rules, okay? And the problem is that you permanently banned him. My problem stems from the fact that you permanently banned him after the fact that he apologized. That doesn't make much sense to me, and it kinda, you know, because everybody has the option to, you know, say no and just ban evade. It's something that's always gonna be available. So, you know, when you don't give people options, when they apologize, pretty much, you permanently ban them. That doesn't make much sense. Kind of undermines your point. Kind of makes it seem like you don't know what you're doing. Especially when you insult somebody when they're apologizing. It doesn't make sense. It's not professional. I just don't agree with that decision. I know some servers make it illegal to disagree with admin's decision, but you can't make that illegal. Everybody has their personal opinion. This is mine. I think you treat people like shit sometimes. I know that they treat you like shit, and I guess it's an eye for an eye kind of situation. But still, you have to be above that if you want to set an example. Just like you demand me to be above other people and, you know, set a good example for yourself. I can't really do that when you yourself don't really do that yourself. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a break and then consider what I'm doing with my life.
You and I,